Number one, welcome to another episode of Cut to the Chase. Live from Colored Barbershop. Today we got a guest, Marcus Martin, aka
you want to throw your comedian. That's what they call me, the comedian. Funny man, whatever right. You want to call me. Yeah.
That's dope. I gotta say this too, and this is why I'm excited about the interview. Just to dig in. Appreciate you taking the interview. Number one, as we build traction and stuff like that. I know you, but don't really know you.
Right.
You know how like you see a similar Canton face, but the part I respect is I kind of like, I don't even say I know your work. I know your energy. I like your energy, to keep it real. You know how certain people move a certain way.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be everywhere with them, but you stay with an upbeat. Right, I'm just kind of giving you your flowers from the outside in. You stay with an upbeat. It seems like you stay on the grind. You stay using your gift and talent. That's what I'm into.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So I just show love. You double dap on that one.
Yeah.
I show love to guys like that because that motivates me because it's tough in the entrepreneurial space.
Yeah.
And sometimes I got to pinch myself. I don't got a regular job. Like stuff is due and you mess around and be like, whoa, is there enough people, this and that, all the ups and downs.
Right.
So we're going to dig into that a little bit. And again, ours is pretty simple. So we can kind of stay on track, kind of a past, present, future. We're doing that. So I'm interested in that. And that helps me keep my brain kind of, focused, I guess. Because I'm guilty of rabbit trail. I think all barbers is. I think we more, I don't know. Like we cut people. We keep secrets. But at the same time, I think we nosy enough. I don't even like that word.
Right.
We nosy enough so you want to see who's sitting in your chair and I enjoy that, I guess.
Right.
That's why this is kind of, I don't even consider myself a podcast guy. I need to quit saying that. But I enjoy what's inside somebody's brain and who's really sitting in the chair, who's really popping through the barbershop.
Yeah, because it's two different people. Like me now versus the me on stage, two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, two different people.
That's okay, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess if we had a Denzel Washington or a Eddie Murphy, I'm sure they got the whole in character and not a character thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing that you guys had to learn, or you do that for yourself, or?
Well, with comedy, there's some comedians that stay on all the time, if you know what I mean, like just constantly cracking, doing jokes. Me, I'm more of an observer. I'm more of a intellect, so I kind of just sit back, chill, and when it's time to be that, it's time to be that. I think in the Black community, a lot of the perception of a comedian is like we're clowns. So
like class clown type that grew up and then they get paid for it type deal.
Well, clowns like just clowning all day.
Like say something funny, man. Say something funny.
Like you don't act funny. You're not funny. It's like, well, I'm at the gym right now, or I'm with my daughters, or I'm just chilling, now it's time to be funny. I'm not on stage. I don't have a mic in front of me. I don't have an audience. But when it's time, it's time.
That's dope. So I'm getting ahead of myself, I guess, already. But number one, shout out to you because you found a lane for yourself. I don't know many comedians in town.
Yeah.
As far as I don't know that market, but at the same time, when I see you, I do see that too. Like, wow, he carved out or found a niche in this town versus some of the bigger markets, even in Ohio.
Man, that was hard coming from Canton.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, people like, you from Canton? So they didn't believe that somebody from this city could be funny. So I had to going to even Akron, Cleveland, Columbus. I almost had to prove myself in the beginning that somebody from Canton, not even just knowing me as a person.
Yeah, that you can do that.
They was judging me off my city where I was from.
Yeah, no different than an athlete or anything like that. Because we kind of got that, I don't want to go too far into that stigma, or you say Canton. It's almost like you're hearing cannot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until like the Hall of Fame time and everybody like, oh, there's millionaires in town,
You're right. And I'm like, you can. Come from it, you can.
Yeah, that's dope. So here, let's get into it. Let's go. Starting off, what is your upbringing? Born and raised here in Canton, Ohio?
Born and raised Canton, Ohio. Grew up on the Southeast for about 12 years. I tell people I'm from all over Canton.
Yeah.
Then we was raised by the Shore area, the Northwest.
Okay.
And then we went to Ellisdale, the Northeast.
Was you Ellisdale for a little bit?
Yeah, I was
out there for Shout out Ellisdale real quick.
Ellisdale, man. Yeah,
excuse me. That's my stomping grounds.
I remember. Ellisdale was probably what I was in high school, so that was about 1999, 1998 to about 2000. I think about 4 or 5, something like that.
Wow, so that was like when I was finishing high school and then college. Mm-hmm. You was in Ellisdale then?
Yeah, right.
Where was you at, dude?
In the back. all the way in the
For
back of
real?
the cul-de-sac. Yeah, we was like down from your people. Yeah,
Wow.
it was probably like 4 or 5 buildings down.
3132 Kirby.
Yeah, we
that was ours. Like
3118.
at the end,
Yeah.
before you turn. So like, if you go to the end, you make a right. Where y'all at, or where?
We was on the left hand side. We was on the same side. Same side.
For real?
Yeah, I remember. I was young though.
Yeah. Wow. So how old are you? Tell me that then.
I'm 40 right now. 41.
40?
41.
Okay.
I just turned 41. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out 40 plus.
40
the
plus.
The new 20. Or
Yeah,
40
yeah.
the new 30. We'll say it that way.
We looking a lot better than these 30, 20-year-olds too.
Facts. I don't see no 20 and 30-year-old guys. Only a handful in the Y in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Okay. So born and raised here in Canton. What high school did you go to?
I went to Timken.
Timken High School.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out Trojans.
Then I went to South Carolina for a little bit. Went to school down there. Then
Okay.
I came back.
So you went to high school down there or college?
Yeah, I went to
down
high
there?
school down there.
So you finished high school in Carolina
No, I did like a year and a half, and then I came back, finished here,
and graduated here.
Yeah.
What part of Carolina?
Charleston, North Charleston.
Oh, shout out Charleston. You know any of the Robinsons, like Dominic Robinson that played for the Bears?
Bears.
Anthony
I
Robinson,
don't
son?
know him, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, his brothers, two of his brothers is in Charleston right now.
Okay.
One was videoing for the university down there.
Okay.
HBCU, whatever that is. Is it
Mhm.
Charleston State or something?
I know you got North Charleston. And as far as the city, yeah.
Okay.
University
I think
of
it's an
Charleston.
HBCU. I'm drawing a blank down there. But anyway, I've never been down there. I think that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
So then it bring you back here, finish high school, and were you doing any comedy growing up?
I tell people, well, maybe class in school.
You was kind of class clown a
Yeah,
little
I was
bit,
a-
got
I was
everybody
a-
going,
yeah.
lunch table going.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
dope.
That was me.
So you was kind of building an identity, I'm guessing. Like
Yeah.
people knew you for that. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? When did you find out that you was really funny? Like around what age?
Young, at a young age.
Oh,
I realized I got it from my grandma, my dad's side of the family. I
Yeah.
realized that where it come from, but I just know that at a young age, people always say you're funny, you're a funny guy,
Mhm.
and I never really knew what it was. I used to get in trouble for it, so I thought it was like I like doing this, I like making people laugh, but I always got in trouble because school ain't the
yeah,
setting.
they ain't trying to hear that,
Yeah,
especially if you clown the teacher or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you graduate high school. What happens after high school?
After high school, just kind of. Well, I went to college, went to Old State.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went to
Shout
Old
out
State.
Old State.
Yeah.
That's why I like you, man.
Yeah.
That's why I like
went to
this
Old
guy.
State. Shout out to my twin. He graduated. I went for about 3 years. I
You
went.
have a twin, like a real twin brother?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that about me. I got
Wow.
a twin brother.
Wow. So where's he at?
He's staying in Cleveland. He's staying in Euclid right now.
Is he into the comedy?
No,
Yeah.
he a
Okay.
banker. He a banker.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
He been doing that.
I'm gonna
He-
jot a
he
quick
actually
note.
make music though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you finish high school. You go to Ohio State. What'd you study at Ohio State?
Theater.
Wow.
Yeah, drama.
That's dope. How many years you did
Yeah,
that?
3.
3 years?
3 years. Yeah.
My address was 58 East 11th, right off of High Street.
Off of high. I was on the North Campus.
North Campus?
Yeah, I forget
Okay.
the name of the dorms, but yeah, I was up
Last
there.
dorms before like the stadium and all
Yeah,
that?
and then I went to the North Campus is like by High Street, and then I was in the towers too. I think it was Morrill Tower, I believe. The name of
Okay,
it.
right by like
The stadium, that's
BW3, stadium to the left.
That's North. That's North Campus. That's BW3s and all that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the towers is like by the
Financial
practice
aid.
field and-
Yeah.
yeah. all
Financial
that.
aid, yeah. I stood in that financial aid line. That was ridiculous. It was like the welfare line.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
like all these thousands of people in this best y'all.
That's
Little
why I didn't
tiny
finish.
room.
I didn't have the
I'm
money. I
like,
couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Afford it.
Well, I didn't finish either, man. I've been taking classes last couple years, just a little bit at a time to try to see if I can get more bang for the buck
Mhm.
because I'm in business. Somebody was telling me like some credit you can get for the years. Like say, okay, you got X amount of years in comedy. If you wanted to match that with what you were studying theater wise, they give you like life credits or something.
Oh wow.
You have to look into it. I was taking some classes at Malone. I got a lot of credit from stuff that I've already been doing business wise. You know, it's pretty dope. Yeah. So you go to Ohio State, you study theater. I'm just jotting the notes because I like these stories. You studied theater for 3 years. Was you in any like campus plays or anything like that?
No, just more
They had
like
it.
class plays, different stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. Where was the theater buildings at? Because I wasn't
I couldn't tell you. I don't
Oh,
remember,
okay.
man. That it wasn't no like no. It was a class setting.
Okay,
more so.
yeah.
I couldn't tell you exactly.
Did they used to hang out at the? I'm telling my age. Did they hang out at the library?
Nah.
The library was the kicking spot. You can find chicks to type. I'm telling them my own. So
Yeah, we down at
type up papers.
What is it called? The lake. What that food spot down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the something fish pizza? That
I know what you're talking about. That's South Campus.
Okay.
Yeah, Bonefish. I think
Bonefish or something.
Yeah, that pizza spot was good.
Yeah, like
they ended up closing, man.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
What was the lake spot? What was that?
That was like in the middle of the campus. That was by the library and stuff. I forget the name of the lake, but remember they were jumping it before the Michigan game. Okay. But they had the food place right there too. I forget the name of it, but yeah, that was the spot.
That's dope. Was it just like the student center?
The student,
it was a different.
Also, spot. The other spot on South Campus, the African American spot.
Yeah, that used to jump. Yeah. What about they have Woody's Bar and Grill?
Yeah, Woody's.
Woody's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, Woody's.
That was crazy. And then they started changing stuff and remodeling it and stuff.
It's totally different now, man. Yeah. You go there now, they got shopping malls, all type of stuff on High Street. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. It was just Wendy's.
Yeah. I've been to that Wendy's plenty of nights. I want some real food. I guess I get a chili again. A chili stuff. That's pretty cool. Was any of like the local Canton guys on the football teams or sport teams down there?
Yeah.
Dawson now?
Yeah, shout out to Dawson.
Okay.
Dawson used to look out for it. Shout out to my man Tyler T.
Tyler, nice. Tyler he was down there with them, huh?
Yeah, I was with
him.
Man.
That's
like
raw.
Seeing Dawson at parties and people, he come talk to us. People like, man, how you know him? Like then they like, who is y'all?
Who is y'all? Yeah, but that's how we got to do. We got to stick together. I just had Kenny in the chair. Me and him's pretty tight. Peterson, but we was laughing because him and Mike Doss was my last customers. I grew up cutting hair and stuff in my little apartment at Ohio State after I was flunking out. Just real life and trying to figure it all out. I'm like, man, you guys are scholarship. Make the most. You kind of not necessarily balling for yourself or doing your thing for yourself, but people coming after you. Mm-hmm. Like I really felt that. Like I wish I was in your position. Mm-hmm. I walked on, didn't make it, but I'm thinking like, dude, what people would do to get in that position. Mm-hmm. But that's where when Doss first got down there, we hit each other up, and it was like we met at a party at an icebreaker. Bumping backs together. Like I heard you're gonna be in town, but that's dope when you can hear the stories. That's my plan. I do want to get all those guys. I never knew you went to Ohio State. I guess it got me off of that. So OH.
I-O.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so you go to Ohio State Theater with some of the guys from around here. Take me from there.
From there, come back.
Did you finish at Ohio State?
No, I didn't finish. Okay. Financial problems. Come back, got my daughter. Trying to figure it out at this point.
Yeah.
Working multiple jobs, and I used to do music, but it wasn't panning out with the working. I remember having to like pay for shows, and I'm like, this it didn't make sense to me.
So you was an artist, like a lyricist?
Yeah.
A rapper?
Yeah, rapper.
Okay, yeah.
And it just wasn't making sense to me. And comedy is something I always wanted to do. And it was, I say it was this guy. I'm at my friend's house one day, and I see on his refrigerator he got a magnet for comedy place called The Funny Style.
Right.
And I never heard of it, but it's something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. Cause my dad used to be a comedian.
Oh, for real? Yeah, wow, that's dope. That's dope. Now, where is he from? Here?
Yeah, my dad from here, but he the one that moved to South Carolina, so that's why I was down there.
Went down there. Yeah. So tell me a little bit. That's cool to me. How far did your dad go? Like, was he mainstream or anything?
Yeah, he was there. He co-owned the comedy club.
Yeah.
Used to be on the road with Bruce Bruce, the Earthquakes, all that.
Wow.
And I remember we sat down, he told me a story about why he stopped, because there's no insurance in this. There's no really no union or nothing. So he was like, to take care of y'all, to pay child support. You can't pay child support with stand-up comedy. So
unless you structure, because when you say that, that's our deal too as far as barbers. That's why I say I always gravitate to people who's out in faith, doing it on their own, because you got all the smoke that come with that, quote unquote, right? From insurance to whatever. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got a lot of rich comedians.
Yeah.
How'd they figure it out?
I tell people
that I'm saying?
When it pays.
That's what I'm saying. So it can be done, basically.
Yeah, I shoot. Sometimes it'll pay. I'll go do a show, get $250 for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then that's not even with the merchandise, T-shirts.
Yeah.
I ain't even with all that. So when it pay, it pay.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you got to get to that point. I mean, but it's weird because everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's comedy story. I know some people that was getting paid off from the beginning, but Me, I had to prove myself in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of free stuff I had to do.
So what was your let's say well, let's go back to Ohio State. So Ohio State, did you do any shows there? How did comedy go?
No, I wasn't doing comedy there. Actually, I did a lot of music shows. We was doing music.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of groomed me for comedy because I remember doing shows with about 400 people in the audience.
Oh, nice.
Like it was talent shows, stuff like that.
Now, was that like Columbus or where?
Yeah, it was in Columbus, Ohio State.
Nice.
Ohio State. And me and my brother, we did probably good, maybe 8, 9, 10 shows.
Oh, just by yourself or it was like big talent show?
Me and him, yeah, big talent shows down there they would have. And we made a little name for ourselves.
Yeah. You know Marcus Bentley?
Marcus, I heard, yeah, I know.
Shout out Marcus Bentley.
Yeah, I know.
When I was at Ohio State, my older brother, shout out Raj, my older brother, was playing on Akron U's football team. He was up there with like Jamal Ball and them that era. But Marcus Bentley, he's from here, would throw these huge shows. He got into the church and stuff, but he like didn't want to be churchy, corny. So he like ahead of his time on some Tyler Perry type stuff would do these plays and do all this casting call or whatever the language is. It had like all the who's who, that top notch athletes and stuff, kind of jockeying for position, trying out essentially, I guess, to be in these plays. He had packed the house out like somebody really, or they'll use a real gun. It sounded like they got shot. They got blanks in there. People crying at the end of it. If you ever hear him, or we could dig into that conversation, or meet Marcus Bentley.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know Marcus did that.
No run.
Yeah.
Like literally ahead of his time. I was surprised he didn't take that. Go like almost on tour. You know what I'm saying?
Go somewhere else with
campus.
Yeah.
So that's dope. So I was doing shows on campus, and then take me from there. You come back here. You got your daughter.
Yeah, come back here working jobs, and then I worked probably like 4 or 5 years, and then at my dude's house, see the magnet at a Funny Stop. And I'm like, it's a comedy club? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's around here? He's like, yeah, because I don't know nothing, especially coming from here.
Where was that at?
Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls.
Okay, I ain't familiar.
Yeah, see, and coming from here, I didn't know who to even talk to. But when I found out just how long I've been wanting to do comedy, the very first day when I found out, the next week I was on stage. That's how long I've been wanting to do it. But I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. So
you've been in quote unquote showbiz.
Yeah. And then from my dad at a young age, seeing him doing it, being there, and then, I gotta leave. I got a show tonight.
You was actually. Have you ever went to one of your dad's shows?
No, I used to ask, and he never let me go. He never let me. I don't think he knew I was serious. I was serious.
Them is some pretty big names. You talking Bruce, and some of the other guys you put out there. That's pretty huge.
He was very instrumental in the beginning in helping me like how to write and how to go into jokes and stuff. He was very instrumental in helping me with that.
Shout out fathers.
Yeah.
You know your pop.
Yeah.
Shout out fathers. All right, so that's a little bit on the history side. So presently, let me say, on the segue side, so you do your first show, and then when did it get real? So you're like, hey, I'm pretty decent at this. You was funny in high school or growing up in school.
It got real when. Well, I would say a couple of things. One, when I first got booked, my very first booking, somebody actually paid me. And
so how's that go? You called out, somebody represented you, or they heard you was funny and they hit you?
Yeah, they hit me. People hit me. Yeah, they hit me. I tell them, a lot of times it's just me and God. They ask if I had a manager or something. Like, it's just me and God out here working. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. It's just me and him.
That's dope.
And I try to do my best as far as, doing things so people remember me, whether it's fast cars or whatever, selling different stuff.
Yep, I think I've seen your cards and stuff. I'm sure I've seen them over the years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. All that he's saying, but I really didn't know the whole story when you start hearing wow.
Yeah, because a lot of it, what I learned too, the seriousness. Okay, I had to work and craft because my very first show was horrible. So, you funny around your family and friends and that type setting, but I learned. For my very first show, comedy is really an art. You got to learn this art. You got to learn timing. You got to learn tags. You got to learn what a punchline is. You got to know what a premise is. These are comedy terms, but it all matters. Callbacks all matters. Like, cause this.
So what is that like when the people respond back to you or something?
A callback is when you say something you'll say something or punchline or something, then you'll use that same punchline or tag later on in the show.
Okay,
you'll like come back to it.
Back to the, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you said that. I was thinking, who's good at that?
Getting to the crowd. That's crowd work. That's more. We call that off the cuff. We call that
Dave Chappelle.
In and out. Yeah.
You be way down 15 minutes and he'll pull that one back in.
Yeah, that's a callback. Yeah. Chappelle dope at that. Yeah. So I learned from people like that. Definitely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's smooth. So then it, I guess going from there, when did it pick up some speed? So where you start getting more shows or? What year was that number one?
Shoot, we going back.
Roundabout.
Shoot, I say I've been doing this about 12 years. 2020. So I say like, what, 2000, we give it about 2011, 2012, something like that, 2010. Yeah, about that time. It started picking up, I would say, almost immediately in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
You know how people... It's weird, how people say Canton don't support. I never really had that problem. Oh, okay. Canton has always supported.
I gotta agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Actually, when we get to debating and stuff around here, I'm like, look at all y'all guys talking. I appreciate y'all supporting me, but days we in here packed, and the dim is like, you wish you can get the clips back.
Right.
Like priceless moments where it's a deep conversation, debate, argument, whatever. And when you get on that classic one, the problem is we don't support each other. I'm like, dude, y'all been coming to me for 10 years. You ain't trying to be arrogant or nothing weird, but I'm like, I don't believe that. Because look at this. Yeah. We do this every week.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it for how many years?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a lame excuse. You see what I'm saying? Because you got individuals like yourself that, hey, I don't have that problem.
Never had that problem.
And that's not really echoed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like around the city, like, hold on, there's a lot of people who ain't had that problem. Mr. G didn't have that problem.
Mr. G didn't have that problem.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I see what you're saying. Right.
Didn't have that problem. You go down the list, RC didn't have that problem.
Right.
Shout out RC. We got to get you over.
Miss Smith or Mr. West didn't have that problem.
Didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
So is this a lame excuse that we just...
Just talking, I think it's more so than being inferior, scared to chase your dreams.
Yeah.
And then also, it depends on what you're doing too, because some stuff don't need to be supported.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's all of what you're doing. But I have always got the support from churches. Like I've been in plenty of churches around here doing shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to let me know. I'm gonna jot that down because I'm into the church nowadays myself. Yeah. I'm over here at Bethel. Shout out to Greater Bethel. I don't know if you know Elder Carlos Morris.
No.
You might know him like Carlos or Los.
Okay.
I heard about a temping company, but I'm just getting over our men's group and trying to do some creative stuff where we get out in the community. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so connect with the youth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the real stuff, I guess. Down to earth and real.
Right.
So, hey, maybe we can book you for a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To me, they're my favorite shows. The church shows, because that's giving back. That's my I know God blessed me with a talent and more. And people think like, well, how can you do it? And it's, to be honest, the church crowd be wanting to laugh. They need that too. It's so much uptight all the time. They need to let loose and just
Google that scripture. I used to know that one. Like medicine to the
soul. Laughter is medicine. Definitely.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's healing.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. That's real stuff. Like I've had some of the best laughs. Actually, that'd be a cool thing we can do because people who think they funny in here.
Right.
Well, we kind of rank them. You might be. You think you're the top comedian in the barbershop. I think every barbershop got him.
Yeah.
The funniest. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dude, I think it's stitches. I'm gonna shout out Randall Campbell.
Yeah, I know you're talking
about.
That's
my guy. I think he got it between him and I'm sure you know Carlton Williams.
I just seen. Nah,
he's a little older. He's way too old. Matter of fact, if you see this, Carlton, say no. But some pretty funny guys for real. And it's authentic and it's you know what I'm saying. So.
I run into so many funny guys. It's something about the urban, the hood, I would say. Something about the poverty, how we grew up. It breeds funniness because sometimes when you didn't have nothing, that's all you had. It was your family laughing.
Crying. Who was that? Like I'm messing all the titles up. Kevin Hart, Laugh at My Pain.
Yeah, Laugh at My Pain. Yeah.
I could relate because we had some pretty hilarious stuff. I remember like the cars we had growing up. You You got to jump through the other side. You know, some pretty funny stuff. You look down, it's a real hole in the floor.
Yeah.
Like, do not put your feet down. You might lose a toe or something, you know.
Right.
But it was the struggle.
Right, the struggle,
and
definitely.
Everybody can kind of relate, you know, to different stuff. So that's dope. All right, so let's see where we at. So now, if you take us into a little bit of, okay, you want to say the comedy industry. What's that like? We can't see it from this end.
The comedy industry is a grind. It's a constant grind. It's you know, I started before the YouTube, before the Instagram. So even coming into that, put my personality on social media, I had to learn that. I had to learn that for a while because a lot of people was like,
what do you mean by that?
Because I was just focused on the stand up. Like that's all I want to do is hit the stage. I ain't worried about doing no videos on Instagram or trying to become a YouTube comedian.
You're ready for the show, you know, the show period. Not
just a show. Yeah. I ain't got time. But then I learned, like, hold on, that's part of it too. It's just everything, you know, get better over time and it integrates. So it's like
I think we all, with all fairness, we all learning that too. Even myself. I keep saying I'm not really no podcaster, but if y'all guys don't want to take it serious, you know, we just talking trash in the barbershop. I jump out there. Yeah. But really, I do love talking to people. I do that all day long. Yeah,
it's all part of it now.
The social media piece and things like that, and how to get it on camera and stuff like that. It can get into a lot that I'm not interested in, like my skill set. But I just like to go get the guys who good at it. You know, the tech guys. That's amazing how they can dive all the way in and do all these different algorithms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a learning curve on that tip. So, but I guess I'm saying when it comes to the comedy industry, I think of people like, okay, I grew up in the era like Def Comedy Jam. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Russell Simmons. Right?
Yeah. Bob Sumner is a good friend of mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's my dude. Yeah, that he was like part of it, co-creator of it.
Okay, see, I'm familiar.
Yeah, Bob Sumner. Yeah, that's my guy.
Bob Summers. Is it Summers?
Sumner. Bob Sumner. Yep.
But yeah, I watched those. I'm sure that was on some. What was that? The 25th anniversary.
Yeah, he's on there.
Okay,
yeah, he's on there. Yeah.
And I looked at it. I said, man, we'll talk about it here back when that came out. You're like, wow, he really created a platform to create bona fide millionaires. You start off comedian, going actor, going talk show host, nowadays podcast stuff, everything like that. I got a picture over there. I'm gonna show you on the way out. We'll get a little clip on there added to this segment. I just thought about that. Wow. I bought it off of Amazon, and you ever seen a picture of a whole bunch of comedians, all the who's who?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's in a barbershop setting.
Yeah,
I got one over there. I paid $100 for that. It was like $25 on Amazon. I'm like, oh, they actually gave us a shout out because of the funniness and the platform. I like the fact that they could have put it anywhere else, but it seemed like it was appropriate for the barbershop.
Yeah, definitely.
Black man's country club type, you know.
That's
you need to get serious in here or pretty hilarious, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
If you had a shop like that, that'd be crazy because you got all the top dogs in there. So, but yeah, it seems like it's kind of I don't want to use a disrespectful word, but like a world underneath the world or some type of lane of its own comedian.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
It is.
Until they break mainstream, you almost be like this. I seen that dude on Def Comedy Jam. Dang, he really in the movie?
Yeah.
When they get their first acting gig.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just saying, can you draw the line in between, like, theater and comedy? Because you study theater, right?
It all helps. Definitely helps.
Okay. Now, behind the scenes that you in showbiz, what am I trying to say? What is the world like, which you kind of already answered that, the comedian...
just like
behind the scenes stuff. Like, how do you got in a non-traditional way? I guess what's in my brain is like, kids, do they have to go to Ohio State, study theater?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
How else can you get in there? You see what I'm saying?
First of all, I would suggest to try to do something else. But if this is what you really want to do, you know this is for you, this is your lane. Just know in the beginning, just like anything else, it's hard. Yeah. And you really got to figure out, how do I take nothing, literally nothing, but make it a business? Yeah. And that's what it was for me. And well, I would say open mics. Start with the open mics.
Open mics. So I guess I'm gonna say it this way, because my thought is there, but there's plenty of people who've made money in this industry,
right?
That we all look up to, right? So that means it is an industry and there's a lane where people can make money, whether it's hard to get in or not, right?
Right.
Whether you go down from the Kings of Comedy guys to all our favorite actors, even like nowadays, like I like DC Young Fly.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I watch a lot of him. You know what I mean? He grabs my attention. But then you see those guys automatically in movies. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like almost instantly, if you any good, you see what I'm saying? It's like a segue straight into back to your theater piece, or now you're on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? Or some Netflix special.
Right.
So have you been presented with that, or have you seen some of those opportunities?
Yeah, opportunities do come around. I have did some very cool stuff in my lifetime, even just being on like live news channel. That was really dope. Dayton. I was Dayton. It's called Dayton Today or something. I forget the name. But just little stuff like that. Even just to like chilling with the Wild 'N Out crew. You know what I'm saying? Nice. VIP at a club with them. Like
when you said that, it just switched. I could see you on like a
like
not just saying that, but you got that swagger age group wise. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Like, have you ever entertained any of that, or like
I haven't had like the opportunity to be on the show, but I have had the opportunity to be in like the presence of it and around. Yeah. I'm talking about Nick Cannon right here.
Where was that at?
It was in Columbus. Okay. When they came to Columbus, they had a Wild 'N Out thing, and one of my friends from New York was here. I was just happy to be in the VIP for real. I was just happy to be around kicking it with them.
See, that stuff is I guess I'm a geek for that. I like to know how.
Okay,
get in different industries and how the money flow, and then you know what I'm saying. Like, how many people can you set up something and get a couple guys that really got that talent? You know what I mean? Sponsor them, manage them, whatever.
Right.
You know, and get into that's an interesting lane to me.
Yeah, it just kind of happens organic as far as the opportunities, and when you in it, you don't even be knowing. You be like, wow, I just did this, or I just did that. I just opened up for Eddie Griffin, like. It's just
I've seen that on your bio.
Yeah.
So where was that at?
I opened up for him when he came here. Then I opened up for him in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is what's one of the Tories? Joe Torre?
Joe Torre. Actually, I didn't do the shows with both of them, Guy Torre and Joe Torre.
When they was in here? When they came to Canton, I mean?
One of them was in Toledo with Guy Torre, but yeah, Joe Torre when he came here.
So Joe Torre, funny story. We get the call. I didn't cut his hair. One of my barbers cut him in this chair right there. And when he came in, we thinking like, I had to figure out what Tory was. We Googling, you know what I'm saying? Right. So you gotta make some conversation. But I thought that was dope. Whenever you see somebody and they go from starstruck to just practical.
Yeah.
You're a black man like me, or a man like me.
Yeah.
What's so different from him? Actually, I referred him to one of my guys, Tone Lawson.
Tone Lawson.
Barber.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Tone. Yeah.
Shout out Tone. You know what I'm saying? Don't say I ain't never throw you. Ooh. So no. But I thought that was perfect because he got a ton of talent. Tone does. Rap and sing poetry.
Okay.
A lot of them open mic things around town. So I thought that was appropriate. I've seen him in plays. I'm like, dude, you ain't a barber. You're a barber part-time.
Right.
You're supposed to be on the other end. I still think that, and I got love and respect for him. But yeah, so I thought that was a good match. Put him in his chair.
Right.
And let's see what come out of it.
Come out. That's perfect.
You might be opening up and then you bring us. Call us or something. But that's dope. So yeah, so what are you working on right now? Like if we say
presently just shows, grinding. I am doing more like YouTube, Instagram, video stuff, getting more into that.
I went on your YouTube, liked a couple.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. Yeah. Because it's all part of it now.
I ain't mean to cut you off. You got what, about 4.5K?
Something I don't even
around there.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah.
I'm looking at it, just studying.
I don't keep track of it. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool because nowadays people like pay for that. Even I'm trying to get into like advertising. I thought about that when I grabbed this water. Is this somebody who could pay us? You know what I'm saying? Because look at the guys, Wallow, Gilly. You see what I'm saying? Some of those guys.
Yeah.
It's like they're killing it. And a lot of time I think I ain't saying you, to downplay ourselves, somebody would pay you already. Because either you're funny or you have the ability to draw a crowd. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope to me too. When I be in Cleveland, it's people that from here or just everywhere. Like I came to see you. I'll be thinking that's so dope. Like
get us some information. I apologize too because many times I've seen stuff like that. I ain't never been to one show.
No, it's fine. I
something better than that. We're gonna throw a show or like participate.
I tell people, man, all the time that hey, the longer you wait, the funnier I get. So it's fine.
So it's all good.
It's cool.
I like that.
It's cool.
So,
but I'm gonna still be doing it.
Yeah. So how do you go about doing your shows? Is it like based off of who call, or can you get more aggressive and say, hey, in my brain, I want to do one a month, one every month? Is that totally up to you? Gauge, yo?
Oh well, no. As we go, should we go? But I suggest people now to hit me the earlier the better. Because if you try to hit me in like next week, more than likely I'm booked already. So the earlier the better. Like I got shows and at the end of April already, you know, May already. So
nice.
yeah.
So how do they book a show? This is where I guess the little segue.
Well, hit me. Yeah, just hit me. Hit me on Instagram. Hit me.
Put your handles and stuff out there.
Yeah, Instagram _ Marcus Martin. Facebook Marcus Martin. Everything just Marcus Martin. Just look up comic Marcus Martin or whatever, and yeah, hit me up. I'll get back in touch with you. And it's really that simple.
Okay.
Pretty that simple. It ain't too hard.
I don't want to go too personal. Let me know. How do you do your rates? You want to shout them out, or is it per situation?
It's per situation. Okay. It all depends.
That'd be almost like yeah, I guess.
Because
music artist or something, you try to do the whole party. How many songs?
I mean, so how long you want me to be there?
You pay for a song, and you didn't tell me how you wanted to hear all night.
Yeah, see that all matters. How far I got to travel. It all depends on what the person wants. If it's here in the city, you don't want too much, and I know you, I probably gonna charge you too much. You know what I mean? But if you're a promoter and we out of town, I gotta travel a ways, I'm gonna probably want the full amount. Yeah. Plus a room. Yep. Yeah.
That's I'm trying to think of other stuff. Writer. Y'all have something? Ain't that like language for music artists?
Mm-hmm. Writer.
Doing all this. Like when
a writer. Oh yeah. Sometimes they hit me about it.
Pretty crazy. Like.
Yeah, I don't get into all that. Sometimes though they hit you with the writer, and I'm simple. I just give me some food. Yeah. But for the most part, as a comic, you really don't have no writer because as soon as we get there, I remember going to Charlotte and they just, you a comic? Okay, boom. What you want? What you want to drink? Yeah. You pretty much get everything you need. And whoever with you, they took care of my people too.
Yeah. So, that's dope. So what about movies? You hear me keep saying movies.
Movies.
Have you done one or been petitioned for that or like? Hey, funny.
Some things that happened, transpired, nothing really came about. I would though. I'm open to it. Definitely would do a movie.
Only reason I said that because I'm thinking. Well, I guess let me ask one more thing. Movies, yes, but then plays. Because what stuck out to me is your background with theater.
Right.
Have anybody pulled on you like, hey, yo, we having this play?
No, not yet. I had an opportunity, and I apologize for never taking it. Shout out to Philly Whedon, but I just
Cleveland?
yeah.
With his twin brothers, right?
I just know him. I just know Philly. Yeah, and I had an opportunity to do some plays with him, but at the time they wasn't paying, and I didn't really see the opportunity in it, and I should have just went and said, forget the money. But I was so focused on the stand up at that time, it was just like, and I'm getting paid for this, so it was just like, they ain't trying to pay me. That ain't my lane anyway, so I'm cool. But I should have, just knowing off of who he is and who I should have.
See, I barely know him, but when I dug in, I'm like, oh, okay, these guys got some pretty cool stuff. One of them's in the fitness, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe him or his brother.
I think both of them is. I didn't know he had a brother though, but I know Philly. Yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, he's pretty fit, and they did a fitness event. I think Sean Strong. I'm sure you know Sean from here. Okay. Strong Family Fitness, I want to say. Sorry about that, Sean. I might have screwed that up. But shout out Sean Strong and his wife. They doing fitness events. Probably 4th year, maybe 5th year.
Okay.
They packed out the Civic Center and the Southeast Center.
Oh wow!
This was last summer.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They got the Q Dogs.
Yeah, the Q. I got a show with them.
Yeah, you said that at the gym, right?
Yeah, the whole weekend. They having a whole weekend. I know April 11th is an all black party at the Civic Center.
I'm slow when it comes to that because you said that in the Y, in the gym. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And then April 12th, we had a special occasions right on Duber. Yeah. And that's probably already more than likely, if not halfway sold out by now. Like it's gonna sell out for sure. And that been a blessing too. I don't know if it's me, God, or just the people, but a lot of shows I've been doing this year, 2025, been selling out.
Nice, that's big. All right, so let's say for the future, where do you see yourself going, or where would you like to go? Is there a dream, an aspiration where you want to take that? You thought that far off?
Yeah, definitely. More more comedy clubs, more shows, more bookings. My goal, like I'm busy for the most part every weekend, but my goal is to be busy from Thursday all the way to Sunday. That's the goal. That's the goal. More merchandise, more of a brand.
So you have merch? Is this your merch here? Or
no. Actually, I should have
seen that around top.
I should have wore something. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I guess that'll be. We can tie that into my next question: is what can we do? Not only Colors Barbershop, but the barbershop platform to help promote, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Support or anything like that.
This is cool. This is cool.
Excuse me.
This is.
I'd like to hang up a flyer. We're having a St. Paul AME Church on Eastus. We're having a fish fry on Saturday.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Barbershop. We're in the middle of an interview. If you guys want to, I'll give you a call and we'll let you shout it out on Facebook or something.
Shout it out. We need all the help we can get.
Okay.
All right. God bless you. It's barbershop life, you know.
Right.
Fish look good with the head on it.
Oh yeah, that do look good.
You should have turned that into a little
St.
Paul. She
Paul.
straight at the microphones and everything. I ain't caring nothing.
No,
about
she ain't
that.
kidding.
Yeah, she's like, this fish fried though? Yeah.
Ain't no hair being cut or nothing.
Right. So yeah, talk to me about that. What can we do? I mean, I take this position on purpose. I kind of blame us, like in a sarcastic way, for the barbershops, with the Black Barbershop platform, let alone the barbershop platform. We got a lot of people that we know or in contact with.
Right.
Kind of like when this podcast developed from, whoever sees this, worst case scenario would be all my customers and then your customers.
Right.
We sharing customers. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So talk to us about what, if there's anything that we can do, what can we do to better support, show some love, participate?
I would say, I mean, this is cool right here, man. Yeah. This is cool. To help, you know, y'all got the merchandise with the kids, but for me, hey, just come to the show, buy some tickets or something, you know, or
Ticketrons. That's what it is. The barbershops are the new Ticketrons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local actors, comedians.
Yeah,
definitely.
Put
you in that whole boat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
performers, entertainers.
You know? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You gotta be known, or definitely gotta touch the barbershops if you doing anything. I mean, perfect example.
Yeah.
She just came here with the fish fry. Like
the power of advertising in the barbershop.
Yeah. Advertising in the barbershop is crazy. Yeah. Definitely. So I would say, man, I can just give you some flyers or something, just put it up, and that'd be it, man. That's all I need.
Anything else you want the people to know? And I'm all about, these are just first interviews. You know what I mean? So, you know, once we're comfortable, we can do an extended one. If there's anything you want to do a deep dive into, or closer to a show coming in, we can do some little snippets. Yeah,
well, shows coming up. Let everybody know I'll be in Pennsylvania this weekend. What is that? March 8th. Johnstown. Okay. And then I'll be back in Johnstown April, I think it's 26th. I need to look at the flyer again. So I'll be back in this.
Is that on your social media?
Yeah, March 8th. Last night on the social media. So I'll be in Johnstown, PA. This is my first time ever going there. I don't know nothing about Johnstown, so yeah, hopefully it's dope.
I know Pittsburgh a little bit, you know what I mean? A couple little outskirts. So one more thing before I let you go here. Can't help but notice the Martin name. That's a pretty powerful, profound name as far as Black excellence and Black life around here.
Right.
What Martins are you related to? Jamar Martin?
No Martin. Yeah, they ask me that all the time. No Martin.
You ever heard of Genevieve Martin?
Nah. No. Well, okay. All right. This is exclusive on your podcast, man. This is exclusive. All my Facebook listeners, this is exclusive. Okay. My last name is not Martin. I used it in the beginning because in the beginning, I was in a lot of trouble, you know what I'm saying, with the law. So what I had to do is I was kind of nervous to put my real name out there, and I used that as Martin Lawrence. So I'm like, okay, he's one of my favorite. If I could put my career behind anybody, it would be him. So that's how the Marcus Martin thing came. And it just kind of stuck.
We already over half an hour. Can we dive a little deeper?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
This is the part I like right here. Almost like you watch them podcasts like the pivot.
Right.
You know, this is the cut to the chase. Let's dig a little deeper.
To the chase, yeah.
Okay. So you tried to cover a little bit. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Or make look better, dress up, use some of those words. Scarred past or time in your life.
Yeah,
Talk
definitely.
to me about that.
Number
one, I'm an advocate for anybody, felony background, whatever, grew up in the hood, projects, God spared my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I was that slick. So it's a comfortable space.
Right.
You know?
All right. Well, came home when I came home, college, worked, got a little bit in the streets, got in trouble, and I didn't like I was in the newspaper a lot too. So that's another reason why I didn't want to use my last name, my real last name.
Which is what again, you say?
My real last name?
I'm not trying to just get you governmental, if you're comfortable.
No, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. If you know, you know. You know, you know.
My apologies.
What's crazy, I'm on my tombstone, I'm going to have to fit Marcus Martin. That's the crazy part, because that's what it is now.
And I don't know where I was living, because I didn't know you like that to be in newspaper. Now I spent a little time where I left for college and a couple years in Atlanta and stuff.
But yeah, it was a lot of negative stuff, and I didn't like the direction my life was going. So that's when the comedy thing came about too. And like I said, I wanted to do it for so long, so I jumped right on stage. But how I knew I was doing the right thing, I remember one time being in the newspaper finally for something good, and I go over to my grandmother's house, and she like, "Do I got to get your autograph?" And I'm like, "Wow, what's going on?" She like, "You in the newspaper." So good things like that just started happening. I started doing shows for churches. My mom proud of me now. My grandma proud of me, and I'm really so that's how I knew like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Would you do? And again, if I'm going too far, you let me know. Where'd you do your time here?
No, we get here. Yeah, I did time. I ended up doing altogether 15 months. The first time I did 6 months, then I did 15 months. Yeah. First time was it OSP in Youngstown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then second time I was in Lake Erie and Grafton. I was
only been to one prison in my life. I didn't get locked up. We went in on the Fatherhood Initiative.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And it was Grafton.
Okay.
Some old pictures.
Grafton, yeah. So anybody that does, because I always wanted to go back, because I done seen comedians go back and do prisons. I done seen them go back and talk, and I always wanted to do that because it's like I've been here. I know what this is like.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Because
that's
at the end of the day, we know of each other. I'm just saying, like how you would say, "How can I help you?" Mm-hmm. That's what this is turning in.
Yeah. So anybody, man, I would love to do
Grafton, we can make that plug. You know what I'm saying? I spoke for maybe 5 minutes. You know, with Kenny and a group we had created, Men of Canton. They're still going here in town. I'm gonna gravitate more into the men's group at the church.
Are you talking about with Mark?
Mark Bixby.
Yeah, Bixby. Yeah. Shout out to Mark, man. That's my guy. Yeah.
So he's an entertainer all day long. He gets you to open up for whoever around town. Yeah, so those are the things I like, and even are you okay with doing like Faircrest or
all that? Because the thing is, I think it's just a lot of especially with the comedy, a lot of people don't know, and like I said, it's really those kids that's the funniest. They done been through so much.
Yeah.
Man, what you take that pain, everything you've been through, talk about it on stage. Now you making money, and you doing something for a living.
I think that's awesome. Have you done Kansas City schools at all?
I have, not Kansas City schools, but the Richmond. Shout out to Miss Smith, Betty Smith. She definitely had me come down there and talk to the kids. So that was amazing. Anything with the kids, I've been to Dayton, a school in Dayton. Shout out to Miss Womack. Talk to the kids down there. So anything with the kids, I'll be with it.
A lot of them have budgets too. Now it's all about business and money. Mm-hmm. But I was telling my nephew. Does music, Nicasso.
That's my guy. Yeah, that's my guy.
Second to the oldest sister's son,
Yeah. Nicasso has helped me out a lot.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. So I was telling him, don't forget there's smaller markets, detention centers, or even the nursing homes. Mm-hmm. That can seem hilarious, right? Mm-hmm. But I remember my mother, God rest her soul, we would go, she was at the nursing home up there on 12th Street, right there by Lehman.
Okay.
And it was like Thursday nights or Friday nights. And she'd be like, this stuff is hilarious. She can't wait for the next corny act to come in there because they playing bagpipes and like some pretty silly stuff to our culture.
Yeah.
But she dying laughing. She took a different perspective and turned it into her own comedy show. Like, this stuff is crazy. But they paid.
Right.
Ain't that tough?
That's funny.
Like, all of them pay to kind of keep people encouraged and stuff like that.
Right.
And I would say that to Nico. He like, I don't know about nursing. I said, I want to look in and see what the budget is.
I would tell any entertainer, if y'all listen, rapper, singer, comedian, always make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I always put myself on, whether it's a nursing home, whether I go do a KKK meeting if they paying. It'd be uncomfortable, but hey, they still gonna laugh. They gonna get something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when you moving with God, just know that you are all right. He ain't gonna never put you somewhere you ain't supposed to be.
Amen. So here's the classic question. Usually at the end of the interview, I ask people along the lines that cut to the chase. I heard you mention your faith. For people who's listening, where do you get your drive from? Where do you get your faith to say, you know what? Even on the worst day, I believe I can get 6 more shows.
Yeah.
Like them days we all have.
Yeah.
And you pull it together.
Yeah.
I heard you say church. I heard you say faith. You know, things like that. Give them a little nugget or talk to us about who is Marcus Martin from like a spiritual standpoint.
Spiritual standpoint, you got to believe in something. I don't care what it is, but I know God is real, definitely with the things he have done in my life and my career, the people that I've been around, the places that I have been. It's amazing, you know, to be on a cruise ship performing, doing shows. And I started this, honestly, it's something I always wanted to do, but I really wanted to do it just to make my mom and my grandmother proud. That's really what I wanted to do. And yeah, my mom is probably my biggest supporter, probably my biggest fan.
Shout out to the mom.
Yeah, shout out to my mom.
Shout out to my mama every day.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But that reminds me of, you go back to those other names like a Gilly or a Wallow. I believe in both their interviews, if you go watch, they had a real nice segment on Shannon Sharp, and they said something similar when they got out of prison, this and that, and I did so much stuff to cause stress.
Yeah.
To moms and the surrounding family.
Yeah.
At least my mom, can I do something so where she'd be proud to kind of take some of that stress off, which I think that's.
You ain't got to worry about your son going to prison ever again. You ain't got to think about that. Hey, I'm on the road, and when you say my name now, it means something. You know, it's, you know, you can be proud of me as your son. Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I appreciate you for the interview for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Build this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know, for our city.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell them where to go from there.
Hey, and Canton do support.
Yeah.
Canton supports.
Yes, sir. I agree. That sounds like a nice T-shirt or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, Hall of Fame. Have you done any Hall of Fame gigs or anything?
I did the Hall of Fame. We did the rooftop. We was on top. I did that. That's about it. Never really too much into the Hall of Fame. One of my goals, though, before I die, is, or not before I die, but one of my goals is to actually be in the Hall of Fame parade. That's one of my goals.
That can happen. You know, I was
one time.
Actually, I forget what it was you just said a couple minutes ago that made me ask that, because I could almost see you. Number one, the barber I talked about, Tone Lawson, he did a poetry deal with the black colleges.
Okay.
And it was in the Hall of Fame, like literally in one of the rooms in the Hall of Fame.
That's dope.
Right?
That's dope.
I forget the name of the center, but the main hub. But I was thinking, like, I'm sure they'd have probably been, you know what I'm saying? Been grateful if they knew that there was a prominent comedian in here. You know,
and that's another thing too. A lot of people, but it don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? It just let you know to keep grinding, keep going, because a lot of people still don't know.
Well, this city, let me say this. Part of the reason, again, shout out podcast, shout out Cut to the Chase.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap or opportunity for marketing in this town. You know how, like, somebody did an event that's in the newspaper, you be like, Michael Jordan was here? Remember when Michael Jordan was here?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
A lot of times you learn after the fact. And look at the platform we as far as the barbershop. You like, they did what?
Yeah.
I'd have went to that. I'd have paid for that.
Yeah.
So I would say, obviously, it seemed like you don't need me to tell you that. Don't take it personal. The whole city, like, where's our black radio stations? Where's our prominent radio station in respect to the 1480s and stuff like that? Something that's a little more cross-cultural, that'll get the main events out there for the people can support. Because a lot of times we just don't know.
Yeah, just don't know.
You know
and they find out after the fact.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I appreciate you. Give me top 5 before we get up out of here.
Top 5.
What's your top 5 comedians?
Top 5 comedians?
From a comedian. You can take a second.
It might surprise you. Let me see. I gotta go Miles Mabley, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, Seinfeld?
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres. I love Ellen. Then we gotta go Mike Epps, and then Kevin. I gotta go Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart I remember watching his first stand up, and they make it look easy, and I get it because they did probably 50 cities before they taped that one taping. Yeah. So you look at it, you like, and I'm just sitting back like, I think I can do this. I
Yeah,
think I can
yeah.
do this. And
You ever be like, you ain't gotta say no name. He ain't really that funny. I could do that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
I used to be like that as an
definitely,
athlete, and I'd be like,
definitely.
he not that nice.
But that's the thing about comedy though. It's so subjective. Like you can ask 10 different people who their favorite comedians is, you get 10 different answers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was interested to see your top 5.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the classic ones in there. You see what I'm saying? But I respect
Right.
it. Even when you go Seinfeld, I seen you performing when I watched a couple of your YouTubes in front of a majority white crowd.
Yeah.
That's dope. We have to get that next interview, how you can even connect with them.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do that, whether it's music artists or whatever.
Yeah.
Even barber.
And that's why I say be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to go to them places.
Yeah.
Get to them, and that's just from being uncomfortable, going to these places. And
have you seen that pay off a little more than maybe our folks, or is it kind of even, or what's your
not gonna lie, it pay off a little. They
I mean, we live in Northeastern Ohio too. You might be saying something different if you was in Chicago or DC.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I'm
well, just different dealing with different promoters. It just all depends. It all depends. You know how these promoters is, but sometimes you try to give you a chicken dinner or something, and you like, man, I ain't come for that. And then, or they'll try to tell you, hey, I know we promised 400, but all I got is 250. You like, wait, what? Yeah,
that sound like this. The barber competition stuff, they get real shifty. I came all the way to Pittsburgh, did whatever you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
And then I went first place and did something funny with the money.
Yeah. It's always
all right, let's give it a shout out. Bye,
right.
Hey, God bless you, man. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Cut to the chase.
Man of your word, cut to the chase.
Yes, sir.